So you have a dream, but the challenge is you also have a job. So you have to make a decision. What's more important to you? What do you value the most? Your job or your dream? And while I would recommend that you work as long as you possibly can to build up the finances, you know, for you to quit that job. Meaning, save up as much as you possibly can while you're working, pay your bills because you have to, pay your rent, your mortgage, otherwise you'll be out of a home, buy your food, but also set aside some funds. The funds that you usually spend to go have fun on the weekends, set that aside. Start building towards your dream. So when it comes time for you to walk away from said job, you're not regretting it financially. Like, oh man, I should have stayed there a little longer. I should have decided to stay with that company. I should have decided to stay at that place, until I saved up X amount of dollars. Because here's what they don't tell you when you're chasing the dream: you still need to live, and this is a true fact. In 2024, we see now more than ever a high number of employees leaving the workplace market to pursue higher callings or to pursue their dream. So now you've been at this company for 5, 10 years. Think about it. I'm going to let that marinate. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee. You've been at this company for 5, 10 years, right? It became so routine that it became mundane. And when it starts to become mundane, you start to hate what you do. You get up in the morning. If you're like me, you get up in the morning, you pray, brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed, start a cup of coffee, grab a snack like an energy bar or something, go out there, start your car, be on your way. You go to the job, you clock in, start working, take your lunch break at 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe 2 if you prefer to take it a little later, or 3. Then after that, you finish up your work, you clock out at 5 or 6 p.m., or if you work swing shift, you get off of work around 11 p.m., and you come home, and you're so beat and you're so tired, you don't feel like doing anything. I think that swing shift is more tiring than working morning shift. That's just my personal take. It's not everybody's opinion. It's just my personal take from my personal experience of working swing shifts because of the hours of 2 to 11. But anyway, graveyard is also more demanding, much more demanding than swing. And you work those same amount of hours. Say, for instance, you do work a 12-hour shift, right? You've been at that company for 5 years. Your body is worn down. It's Thursday. It's, you're technically your Friday if you work Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 4 a.m. and vice versa. So you're worn down. And I do apologize about my neighbor's dogs barking in the background. Just try to tune that out as much as you possibly can. But anyway, long story short, you work that little job, right? Your body is worn down at this point. You get up on a Thursday like, oh, it's my Friday. I don't want to do anything. I'm so exhausted. I'm so beat. I'm so drained. Do I really want to go in, or do I want to call in for the day and just get some rest? That's how a lot of, workplace employees think. Even those who work 4 hours, 4 to 8 hours a day. Because they've been with this company for so long. They can't see themselves doing something else, but at the same time, they want to do something else. They have a dream that they're passionate about, that they would love to be doing. Whether it's vlogging, whether it's doing YouTube, whether it's podcasting, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's writing, screenplay writing, fashion design, whatever the case may be. They see all kind of designers. Say, for instance, your dream is to become a fashion designer. You see all kind of designers in magazines and TV shows and interviews and radio spots, podcast interviews, and you're very excited on doing these things, right? For example, you're so excited on doing these things, but you're on lunch break, and you say to yourself, oh man, if I could be in this position, how would I take it? How would I, you know, how would I go about things? Mm. How would I go about things? Hold on, guys. You didn't begin to say to yourself, right? You didn't begin to say to yourself, what if I can be like that fashion designer? What if I can be like that Formula One driver who's winning all the Formula One championships? What if I can be like that one hip hop artist who's getting featured on every artist's album and who's dropping all these albums, who's getting all these hip hop accolades and awards? What if I could be like that singer? What if I could be that star? And truth of the matter is, as long as you have a dream, ladies and gentlemen, it's possible for you. But you need to take the baby steps first. It's not about the right away. You know what I mean? Because if you ever heard the expression, and I'm going to say this as slow as I possibly can. If you ever heard the expression, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Truth of the matter is, it truly is. Because July 27, 2019 is a day I'll never forget. It was the very first podcast episode I ever dropped. And to do that, I had to actually have the equipment. So leading up to that day, I had to make a list of every microphone from the most expensive to the cheapest. I had to make a list of headphones from the most expensive to the cheapest. And then say to myself, okay, cool. What can I afford? What can I not afford? What can I purchase now? What can I purchase later? Because I have bills to pay. I gotta eat. I gotta live. I gotta have a roof over my head. I gotta have gas in my car. I gotta make sure my family's straight. I gotta make sure I'm straight, and so on and so forth, right? And it all boiled down to a silver or chrome, if you want to call it that, a retro design Samsung microphone. That was a tabletop microphone. And I already had a pair of Sony all white headphones that go over the ear. So I didn't have to purchase any headphones, thankfully. I recorded my very first podcast episode, right? I recorded my very first podcast episode July 27, 2019. And that's something I'll never forget. That was an experience I'll never forget because I whispered into the mic. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Poetry Corner Podcast. This is your host, Matt Foster, for all those who didn't know. And that very infamous line was used in every podcast episode all the way up until I changed the title. And even when I changed the title 3 different times throughout the years, it always was, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to blank. This is your host, Matt Foster, for all those who didn't know. Even though it's the Poetry Space Podcast, and I'm going to keep it that way because I want it to be a safe space for all poets from around the world. And that's why I made it the Poets World Podcast. Poetry Space Podcast. And long story short, what is I going with this one? But anyway, long story short, I made it that catchphrase because it was a way for me to get comfortable with recording. It was a way to get, myself familiar with coming to the mic. Because, you see, even though I'm as confident as I am now, I wasn't always growing up. I never was this confident. I could be confident face-to-face conversation. I could be confident with standing up in front of my coworkers, hyping my team up and saying, hey, we can get this work done today. Hey, we're going to get this work done today. We're going to do this. We're going to meet our standards. We're going to smash these numbers and we're going to hammer it out today and we're going to kill it today. You know what I mean? And I was good with that. I was good with hyping everybody up. But sad reality was I was never good with hyping myself up. And here's why, right? I'm a soft-spoken individual, despite the confidence you hear on this microphone. So I had to get myself familiar with speech. I had to get myself familiar with confidence. I had to get myself familiar with coming to a microphone. And it didn't matter to me whether it was a cheap microphone or whether it was an expensive microphone. I had to get myself familiar with my equipment. So as time went on, I started watching more YouTube videos, and I noticed something that stuck out to me was sound quality. To others, it might have been the flashy little edits in between, like, the split screen, when they fade to another screen, or they flip the screen, or they add little quotations on the sidebar, or if they add little history facts about a car manufacturer on the little side. And that catches my attention too when it comes to a video. But what caught my attention was the crisp, clean audio sound. It sounded fantastic. And I said to myself, back in 2021, I said, man, if I can get my videos to sound like that, man, I would be set. I would be excited. I'd be ready to rock. But truth of the matter is, it wouldn't be for another 4 years. And this is why they tell you it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. It is indeed about the journey. Thank you for that correction, ladies and gentlemen. I was about to say it was not about the destination, it's about the journey. But it's not about the destination on how you get there or how fast you get there. It's about the baby steps, the journey along the way. And I know I just hammered that, but bear with me. Bear with me. You know what I mean. And people like to forsake the baby steps to get to, okay, yeah, I'm a star now. Whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Snapchat, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Discord, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, whatever. They just want to smash all the records right away, and it doesn't work that way. Even some of your biggest YouTubers, even if some of your biggest Hollywood stars will tell you, it took a process for them to get to where they are. Stop trying to jump to the destination. You're going to miss a lot of key information along the way. You're going to miss that key information that you're going to need once you get to that destination. You're going to miss out on a lot of confidence building. You're going to miss out on a lot of memories, moments, people that you're going to need behind you as a team. If you just jump to that destination, it doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't work that way. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, your dream is possible for you. Take the baby steps. Slow down. Enjoy the journey. You don't have to quit that job right away. I took a gamble with my situation because I couldn't stay in the management. Management was coming down my neck about something that was management's fault. It was the tampering with my schedule. It was the tampering with my pay. It was the tampering with this. And then they want me to do that. Then they wanted me on I just noticed my lotion bottle fell. Then they wanted me on a full-time schedule for part-time pay without any of the benefits. Then they wanted me to do the overtime without actually having to pay me. It was all that amalgamated into me making the decision to say, you know what, I had enough. If you ever played Squeeze the Lemon in school as a kid, you know what I'm talking about. Was when you squeeze everybody squeeze each other until somebody falls out of the table. You know what I mean? I did that when I was in elementary and middle school. It was a fun game when I was growing up. But anyway, that's technically what they did. They played Squeeze the Lemon until somebody quit, and that one person that quit was me. But it's still, hold on. This is exactly why I hate living on a busy road. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Even though that one person that quit was me, it still took months to make that decision. It still took months for me to just take that leap. It wasn't okay, I don't like this job. I've been here a week. I'm done type situation, and I'm going to chase my dream. No, it took time. It took patience. It took money. It took budgeting. It took making a list. It took for me to stick to that list. It took for me to pray on it night after night, day after day. And then ultimately taking a chance on my dream. And I enjoyed every step of the way in between getting to this destination. I took my time with it. Your dream is possible for you, ladies and gentlemen. But you just have to take your time. You cannot rush. You can't say, okay, cool. I'm gonna rush into this decision wholeheartedly. I'm going full bore. This is what I want to do, and I don't care if I got to starve myself. I don't care if I got to be homeless. I'm gonna do this. It's a wild way to look at things. That's a wild way to look at something. That's insane. I don't want you, ladies and gentlemen, to put yourself in a jam. I don't want you to put yourself in a tight spot. Chase your dream, yes. Make it happen, yes. But take the baby steps. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. I hope you learned something from this episode, most definitely. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. That's random teenagers walking through. But anyway, I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.